Welcome back to ImPowered Woman, She Speaks. We are super excited tonight to talk to y'all about something that's really tricky. It's called character. Are you a fighter or are you a flighter in all types of situations and circumstances? And so we've got our own opinion. Yeah, we do. We've got our own opinion. We've got some facts. We've got some things we've looked up. We've got some things we've been through, our experiences. So, it could go any which way. So we are asking that if you will please comment in the comment section tonight. We want to hear your questions. We want to hear your responses, your positive perspective. And most importantly, I said your positive perspective, Okay. So happy shout out to Sister AJ and Sister Minister Kaylee. They are not going to be on tonight. They are both on vacay, which is a super cool thing. That speaks a lot about their character. They are taking care of themselves. I love it. Okay. So we're going to talk about courage. We're going to talk about the keys that makes a woman, a strong woman, that's considered a strong woman. Okay. That's courage. Her being courageous, that she doesn't really depend on anybody else. She knows who she is. She's really searching and growing her best self. She doesn't see showing emotion as weakness, which is super interesting that we're going to talk about. She follows her intuition, her discernment, and doesn't overthink every single thing. Those are some keys to success. And guess what? She is truly happy. She's got some inside joy that the world didn't give and the world can't take it away. That sounds like a good old cool song. And she knows what it takes to own her own happiness. So we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight. We're going to talk about, again, are you a fighter or a flighter? Not to mention when you're dealing with relationships, you're dealing with on the job, you're dealing with in ministry. How do you handle it? Are you a fighter or a flighter? So I'm going to bring my sisters into this room right now because we got to have a chit chat about this thing. And I'm so excited they are here. Hey, y'all.
Hey.
What's up?
Life is good. Life is good.
Life is good. And you're traveling. I love it. That's what I'm talking about. And she got the seatbelt on, y'all.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Gotta obey those laws of the land now. Obey the laws.
Okay. Because I'm gonna tell on you. You know I got that GPS. The last time I asked to use your phone, you got the Apple stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So what I did was I went in there and I chose that you don't mind sharing your location to me. You know that, right?
No. Well, I'm out. You should see I'm outside of Valdosta right now. If you know.
Oh wow!
You already know.
I know exactly where you be. Welcome, Sister Shanavia. How are you?
I am great. Thanks for having me back. I'm excited.
Ah, man, you are in our 40-something club, so we love it.
Yes.
Right on the dot for that. Okay. Yes. Over the hill.
Wash your mouth out.
Hey, going over the hill is fun. That's called excitement.
I love it.
I cannot stand it. Oh my gosh, I can't stand TP. What are y'all talking about? TP, you in that group?
She just you hit the top. Now now you just gotta
don't even try to fix it. Don't even try to fix it.
Just coast.
Don't even try to fix it.
Coast.
It's like Six Flags. The ride gets good at the top when you're at Six Flags. The thrill is coming once you get to the top.
Hey. Okay. Mind you, I turned 52 in like 2 weeks. So,
Well, 50 is wonderful. That's a blessing.
I'm too over 50, y'all.
It's a blessing.
But you look fabulous, darling. You look
fabulous. If I do say so myself. Thank you, my dear. Thank you. Thank you. You know what they say about us if we don't eat a lot of sugar, right? Wendy wins that we don't crack. So it's all good.
Amen.
And I think I defied that odd, but God gets the glory. So, hey, we're going to talk about this thing, y'all. We got to talk about it. And I want to start it off by talking about, are you a fighter or a flighter? And part of that was we were talking about why women, us, can be so difficult sometimes as it relates to our emotions with men. Instead of us handling it in a calm way, no matter what the situation is, If we can't handle it calm, we want to flight or we want to fight. Okay. Now, fight can be looked at several different ways, right?
Right.
It can be. Fight to keep your relationship, keep your marriage, keep the peace. Okay. Or it could be like, I just want to fight. I just want to argue all the time. I want to get all emotional and dramatic over something that really could be peaceful. So what are your thoughts about that? Why are we so difficult with that sometimes? What are
We're
your thoughts?
emotional beings. We are emotional creatures.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I just truly believe that is, I think part of it we're taught, and I think part of it is just innate.
Wow.
You know, I think so. I think we're just emotional creatures, and we lead with emotion. Men are logical creatures. They lead with logic, and you know, we sometimes just let our emotions take over. And you have to learn it. I know for me, I don't know about anyone else, but I had to learn to actually, you know, reach that to reach a level of emotional intelligence where I wasn't overreacting. I wasn't, you know, reacting and not thinking first and not trying to diffuse the situation. Like when you get mad, you know, instead of you trying to diffuse the situation, you make it bigger. I had to learn that, you know, because when I was younger, I didn't see that. So I had to learn that as I got older. You know, it was.
You bring up a valid point. We have to learn, because a lot of us, you're right, it's how we were raised.
Yeah. For me, the way I learned to deal with that, I started dealing with fact over feelings. So I'm like, okay, take a breath. Now let's look at a situation without your feelings in it, and let's really decide, is this really worth you getting mad about? Like, is this really worth you, as she was saying, escalating the argument? Or can you just calm down? Because sometimes men get emotional and get crazy, and you have to kind of bring it down. Like, okay, you calm down, you know. But a lot of times they're logical, because the first thing they say, well, what's wrong with you? And you're like, you don't feel what I'm saying. And he's like, I really don't. Because they're only dealing with the fact, and we're dealing with the feeling.
That is real talk. And I see Sister Wendy Wynn is nodding what you're saying, like she about to say something too. What you about to say, sister?
I agree with that. I think we have to calm our emotions and not always act on the first thing you feel, because you have to allow tensions to calm and think clearly. And kind of like, again, I think I made this analogy before, kind of like playing chess. And you're in it for the long run. So don't just throw a pawn and throw all your, you know, pieces out. Calm, think it through and make the best move for the long term. Take your emotions out of it and
I like it.
I like that. So here is what we may have been, how we grew up. I hear that from TV. It might have been something we learned how to handle it or how not to handle it. Okay. I hear Sister Shanavia saying, you know, fact or feelings. Okay. Take a deep breath. Woosah. Is that the right word? Yeah, woosah.
Yeah, woosah. You got it.
Then I hear Sister Wendy Wynn saying, think about it from the long-term perspective. You know, like, is what I do right now, how is it going to, this is my translation of what she said, how is it going to affect me long-term in this relationship? And, you know, I learned that the hard way, was what Wendy said, and listening to all of you ladies, because in relationships that I've been in before, and I'm not talking about men relationships, just I'm talking about even women relationships, business relationships. In the past, I didn't think about long-term. I was quick to send that email off with my gabber. I was quick to, you know, leave you a voicemail, a text, those things that you can't pull back, not thinking about how it was going to affect my job from a long-term perspective. So I had some really cool mentors, you know, 20 years ago when I got into corporate America. And they had to, like, you know, pull me back real quick. Because what you do at home, 99.9% of the time, once that mask falls off after about 90 days, you're going to do the same garbage at work.
Yeah. And at work, you definitely have to watch how you word things, being a woman, because, and I'm just going to say it, being a Black woman, you know, because
real talk.
That's not a smile is considered angry. And I don't like it, but it's a reality. You know, you have to add some extra fluff, you know, to your email. I had a great mentor. She taught me, she was like, okay, so this is how you write your emails. You give them the content that they need, then go back and make sure you add the fluff. Like this lady could tell you no in the most amazing way. Do you hear me? And I was like, can I just like, I don't want to like pleasurize your email, but can I still? He was like, yeah, you can have it, you know, because
awesome.
it's all in the way you say it. You know, it's all in the way you say it, because if you just say no, then a client feels like you absolutely do not care. You did not try to help them. But if you start with, oh, I am so sorry, you know, that I was unable to do blah, 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 blah. And solution.
You know, I'm about to jump in here and cut you. I'm about to cut. Ooh, not literally cut. For the haterators out there, I don't mean literally cut, because that's my Empowered Woman sister, but you know what I'm about to say. I got to jump in on that.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Because this is for a lot of people can do exactly what Sister Shanavia just said. A lot of us, we really need to develop that. Okay. And what I mean by that is develop it to where you're not always apologizing up front. I'm real big, even when I'm coaching people, the power of no. Mm-hmm. So if you haven't developed it to be able to say it like Sister Shanavia is saying, to where it sounds like you got control of that situation, and you don't sound weak when you apologize before you say no, don't do it till you flex that muscle at home first. Because there's a power in saying no, and we do not have to have a reason why we said no.
That's right.
And we don't have to apologize for saying no. No just means no. And you can, you know, and it took me a long time to get there. I'm for real. And I still struggle with it every now and then. I have to kind of pull myself back. Like, are you tripping? No, it's no, just no. You know, and it doesn't have to have all that, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, I had to learn that too. I had to learn the power of no, because when you're a giver, you feel like when you say no, you're being kind of selfish, you know. Like, did I really try to figure out every way I could help first before I said no? But then I have to realize you can't help the world, honey. You're gonna have to say no. You're wearing yourself out, you know.
That's right. That's right.
Well, let me you know, you have to know who you're dealing with, you know. And sometimes know your audience. Know your audience.
One of the things I've learned in corporate America, and I learned this actually from another coworker, because I was quick to say no, we can't do that, and not give you an explanation. And one of the things that she always said was, you know, no, however, comma. So it was like, no, I cannot do that. No, can you do this? No. However, I can provide you with X, Y, and Z. You know, so that you show that you are still, like you said, Shanavia, you're still trying to be helpful. You know, but at the same time, no is no. I cannot provide you with that by Friday.
And that is
at 5 o'clock on Thursday. I'm about to log off and go home. Okay. No, however, comma, I can get it to you by Tuesday or Wednesday. Will that work?
Right.
You know what? You something else. I love it. I love it. And I'm so glad you gave that example too, because that was, you know, how we all think alike on it's so super cool. Giving an example of how to do it, because a lot of people really don't know how to do it. And make sure you don't say but when you're saying no, because that's a fighter right there. A fighter is courageous. That person, you know, they're going to hang in there. They're not going to throw in a towel just because somebody loaded up their to-do list of stuff at work. They're going to be able to use some muscle and say, it's some girl power muscle, and say no. However, don't say no, but. Stay away from the big old but.
Yep.
Not good for you.
Yep.
Not good for you. You know, but does what? Negate that.
Exactly.
It just negates it, right? And
but
so,
that however gives them hope. Okay, wait a minute.
Come on.
Pause.
I want to interject on one thing. When you spoke, Shanavia, you spoke about the being nicer at work, and then, you know, polishing up what you're saying at work. Sometimes we should also continue to do that at home, because why should we be nice for strangers not be nice at home for the ones we love?
Come on now.
These are the people that we have to sustain long-term relationships. Jobs will come and go.
Come on.
But you hope your relationship with your husband or your children is a sustainable one. So
Absolutely.
you should be much nicer to your people at home
That's
than
right.
you are to the people in the street.
Hallelujah.
Absolutely. You're right about that. Look.
When you just said that, girl, you said it, you said it, you said it, you said that. You
Come
hear
on
me?
now.
Woo! You made my pressure stabilize right there, man. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something what Wendy Wynn just said, because she's right. We put on these masks, that's character traits. We talking about character, okay? You know, you put on these character is what do you do when people are not watching you?
Mm-hmm.
People, God sees everything.
Right.
He see your dirty, dusty thoughts. He see all that stuff. He hear it, see it before. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
So I put that mask on at work, like she's talking about, and we give them the cush, and then we come back home and we screaming at our kids, our husband, our wives, you know, our neighbors, our parents. That's not good character. That's not. You can't be successful that way, because pretty soon what you do at home is going to rub off, and you're going to do that at work.
Exactly.
They're not going to deal with that.
Yeah, and I was just about to say that. That's what I was thinking. Like, how can you, you know, I don't see how you can camouflage it. At some point in time, it's going to
Some
come
people
up.
do. You're right, though. You're right. Sometimes it's gonna come up. It's you know, what's done in the dark.
And being at home should teach you how to talk to people at work. In a sense, you know, in some that relationship at home, like Wendy said, it starts there. And you're gonna take that same stuff to work. And if not, and you, like you said, Sister Denise, it's gonna come out. Your whole facade is gonna disappear after that 90-day probationary period.
After that probationary period, you know, everybody don't give you no probationary period.
Not in Georgia. I think in Georgia don't have to give you one, right? I don't know.
No, right to work, right to leave.
That's the thing, though. We spend a lot of time at work. Everybody works at least 8 to 10 hours. So I think that a lot of time the frustration can sometimes spill over to your family because you're tired. You know, you've dealt with all these people all day, all these issues being pulled all these different ways, and then you get home, you can't escape it. You're still being pulled. So I think that's why, especially moms, hats off to you, mom. Bravo, that can work these jobs and then come home and deal with these kids. I hadn't got blessed with that yet, but I'm sure God will give me the grace. Seriously, like sometimes when I would come home from work, I was exhausted. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to do Facebook. I don't want to do that. I would ride home in silence because all day I hear my email pinging. I hear my phone ringing. You know, somebody's calling me. So I get it. I'm sorry?
You're echoing.
I'm echoing?
Something's echoing.
I don't know. Let me see. Is it echoing now?
No.
Okay.
Come on, bring it on.
Yeah. So no, I was just saying that you're exhausted by the time you get home. And most people get home, it's your place of rest. But if it's some craziness going on at home, all that stuff that you got held in at work gets released at home. But like you were saying, we can see our home better because that's who we're gonna have the long-term relationship with. But we spend more time with the people at work, if you think about it.
We do.
You do.
But you know, one of the things that I do, and I was kind of jumping in. You know how we do. We cut each other off in love, by the way. We do. But you know what I was thinking is I stay in my driveway, and you know I used to get a lot of flack from people because you know my neighbors. I know all of my neighbors except the ones I know them, but I just shoot anyway. So my neighbors know. They know that I sit in my car for a while, but they never knew why until recently. Okay. So they go by, they honk, I got my lights on, but it's because, like you said, you're on all day. You spend majority of your time of your day with your people at your work. I mean, I'm on. I have, 7 employees, whether W-2 or 1099, and I'm dealing with them and got 4 more coming, and I'm dealing with them, their issues, their families' issues, their families, extended families' issues, their financial issues. We're not even talking about my life. I got to deal with that. And so I got to come home and make sure that I'm on and right for my 17-year-old and my 29-year-old,
Right.
Or my 22-year-old if he just moved back home, but not in my home, but he moved back to Atlanta. And so I sit in my driveway for a long time before I come in the house, because I listen to my gospel songs. I might read the word of God. I might be praying, crying, screaming, whatever I need to do to get that stuff out before I come. And that goes back to character. It took me forever to get there. Let me just say, because I would come in, especially when I was married, and everybody got it. I mean, and I didn't make no apologies for it. I'm tired, my feet hurt, leave me alone. And people, so I believe, again, we can't control what others do, but we can control our reactions if we just do what you said earlier, Sister Shanavia, just woosah. And just what Sister Wendy Wynn said too, the long-term ramifications of it. And stop thinking that everybody's got to just deal with you and your grumpiness. That's not cool. They weren't with you at your job. They didn't make you upset at your job. You know what I'm saying? They weren't there. They just, my kids, your family, your husband, they just want your love. And women, since our hands are in everything, they depend on us a lot.
Yeah,
a lot.
We're super women, and I'm sorry, you can't rip that S off most of the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, just like I can't rip this black off. I can't change my black like I changed my dress. I
want to share a story. I want to share a story about that. It took my kids saying, my husband and my kids had a meeting about me.
I love it.
They had a meeting. Because I was so overwhelmed at work. I was in school. I would do just what you just said. Come in the house, hollering, screaming, yelling, cussing, fussing. And me and this man had we weren't even married yet. We weren't even married.
So you was going in.
My kids was ready to leave. My kids was they were teenagers, so they're like, "Oh, get out here. She crazy. What's wrong with her?" And I mean, they didn't tell me this till years later, that they had that, but I knew at that moment. I mean, my kids were breaking down crying. He was like, "Baby, you got to calm down. Like, I'm here. You don't have to do it all by yourself." But that superwoman complex and thinking that you have to be strong and you got to make sure everything is in order. You cannot let nothing slip through the cracks. You come home, you got shoes by the door. You better get these shoes by my front door. It was a and you have to pull that in. And I didn't learn until years later that my emotional intelligence was lacking.
Come on, bring it on. Bring it on. Bring it on. Emotional intelligence. You said it.
Wow.
And you know what's interesting? It's okay to let stuff drop. I think Wendy Wynn and I may have talked about that a couple of weeks ago, but it's okay to let things drop. I mean, it's okay. It's okay that, and I know some people probably cringe when I say this right here, but it's okay if the garbage doesn't get taken out.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, we're not doing that.
Listen to me. I'm going to tell you right now, you losing your mind. When I say garbage taken out, I don't mean you leave it in your house and stink. That's jumbo to food. I'm saying, if you know how hard, like for me on Tuesdays when our trash comes, and I used to give myself such a hard time. Now, mind you, I got 2 garbage cans in the back where I could for overflow. Okay. I did that because occasionally on a Tuesday, I would forget it was mommy's turn versus the other 2's turn because I help with the chores. Okay. I'm just one of them type of chicks. And I would forget. So I bought an extra trash can because I'm like, I forgot. Now I got to wait a whole nother week. I'm not that chick who's going to go up here to Quick Trip and dump all my trash. That's like super wrong. Y'all do that. Y'all wrong. If I forgot to do it, it's okay. They'll be back next Tuesday. Go get another trash can, Denise. You got a lot of stuff going on. It's okay. But I used to be hard on myself because I forgot to take the trash to the end of the road on Tuesday. Ain't nobody perfect but the Lord.
Amen.
It's all right. We got to go back to the emotional intelligence thing. Makes a difference. You're right. We got to go back to that. Wait, Wendy, we can't see you.
The sun said I can't help it.
She's rolling.
The sun set on me. I'm trying to make it back home before dark, but it's not happening.
Oh, man. It's so good to hear your voice, though, sister. We missed you last week.
To be a part of it. No, I was great last week. I tuned in. My 19-year-old foster daughter, she was listening. And when you said, I think you said, "Who are you?" You kept asking, "Who are you?" That resonated with her. And I think it was a good message, a really good message, thought-provoking.
Awesome.
For young people to ask, who are you?
Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. Woo!
Round of applause.
That's how we roll.
I love it. I love it.
What were you about to say, TP, real quick before I get to the next subject?
I was just saying, you know, when Dawn put in the box, emotional intelligence makes a difference. And I think really honestly, I think when you see women in leadership, that emotional intelligence is their secret weapon, because you got all of the other weapons as a woman, right? As a woman, we got so many other weapons that I'm sorry, but that men just don't have. Okay, but if we can get to the point where we can actually manage our emotions and we can sit at the table, that's powerful. And I think that makes a difference. I see that in every woman that I see in leadership. I'm like, I know they'll say things like she's a pit bull and skirt and, you know, stuff like that. But one of the things I learned is that woman is not jarred. You don't see her face doesn't change. She doesn't. I mean, when it's a tough situation, she's not makeup running out of she ain't running out crying, you know, screaming and yelling, cussing and fussing at folks. Now I'm gonna say this though. A man could do it and get away with it. I'm gonna say that. Me and my husband literally just had that talk at the dinner table today, talking about that. But that right there, if she got, that's the secret weapon. That's the secret weapon.
You just said a mouthful right there. You know what? It's very true. And you know, I have this, oh my gosh, you just said a mouthful. Because listen, once she can get that emotional intelligence under control, not only herself, but what she sees in everybody else, you're right. Because can't nobody, and that's no offense to me, you're right, I'm pro woman too. But you know, can't nobody rock it like women, because we are nurturers by nature. You know, we see everything. We know how to multitask. We're not, you know, we don't have blinders on, right? You know, we see east and west, we see all colors and sizes. Okay. And not too much stuff will get past us. So you're absolutely right. But when she gets control of that, you're right. Go to the bathroom and cry. Go outside and scream. But you're right. It is perceived differently in the boardroom. I experience it firsthand. And sometimes we hold baggage because of that. I did. I was in a meeting and the guy that still works for my company, he went slap off about something. And I just looked and I said to my leader, I said, now, if I go off like that, then we're going to be having a different conversation. What that person did was unacceptable. And you know what my leader said to me? If you went off like that, I would say that you had a right to go off like that. I would never look at you any differently than I look at him. You're passionate about what you do. He went on and I was like, wow. But I brought that baggage, not only as a woman, but as a Black woman. Okay. And as a woman in leadership, I brought that baggage to it, you know, because I had been doing okay with juggling emotional intelligence. But when I got there, I just brought baggage at this particular job. But he checked that real quick. No, I wouldn't.
Wow.
He would not. So there are some really cool individuals, but it goes back to your point that, and if we as women, I gotta say this one last thing, I almost lost my thought because I get so excited about this. If we as women can really, as leaders and non-leaders, if we were subordinates of that leader, can still work together. If that chick is a boss chick, support her. Okay? Right. Because listen, she's gonna make room for you to be elevated or promoted as well. You know, she's gonna mentor you and coach you. Don't try to drag her down. That goes back to character. You know, that happens a lot in leadership with women.
Yeah, I wish my husband was on and he could ask the question that he asked me, because he really did ask me. He actually said, like, do you feel that women, you know, how far have we progressed with it being Women's History Month, or, you know, National Women's History Month or whatever. So I was like, well, I don't know that we're actually seen as equals, you know, just quite yet, but you know, I think some things have progressed. And so, you know, we had that whole discussion that you're talking about. And I think that what you're saying is that there are a lot of people who are now allies. We now have a lot of people who are like, no, you know, you're not going to treat women different. No, you're not going to look at them differently because they got angry and upset at the same thing that Bob over there got upset about. So, you know, no, you're not going to be angry because, you know, you got mad, you know, because you saw Becky did that same stuff, but now that Keisha did it, you want to see as a different, you know, we had this whole conversation today at the table, but that is, you know, I feel like we have allies, but we I don't know that we're all the way there. That was my response to him. I know we're not all the way there, but we have allies out
So
there.
we do have allies.
We have to be our own allies as well, because too many women are tearing each other down instead of trying to help fix the other lady's crown. We're laughing and pointing and bashing them too, and that's something we have to stop as women. If we want to expect the men to stop doing it, we as women got to call it out when we see it happening from one another, and when we see it happening from men. We've got to not be bashful anymore.
Wendy Wynn said, "Fix her crown."
Yeah.
Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Fix your crown instead of going over there and knocking it off.
Right. Amen.
Well, fixing your crown. And I'm glad she brought up that point. It's something as simple as, if you see something in your girlfriend's hair, or not even your girlfriend, just another woman, like, hey, something's in your hair. Hey, your tag is out. Hey, you got lipstick on your teeth. Just simple things like that is all a part of fixing the crown, because we just got to be just more accountable for each other. Just love on each other. If we just operated out of love as quickly as we talk about somebody,
Come on. Say that.
We have to understand that we all are different. Some of us are loud, some of us are not. Some of us, everybody has their own personality. And when you can just accept the person for who they are and just learn how to kind of adjust, to every person, then it'll flow a little bit smoother than you trying to get them to be who you want them to be.
Come on, you said it right there.
There you go, right there. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Listen, why don't we, and we should do this, so we need to talk about we need to go progressive. We need to go down that road. Why don't we support each other's businesses as women? Why? We're talking about character here. Why don't we support each other's businesses?
I'm going to mute my mic so I don't keep hollering.
Well, well, the thing is, I personally will buy a sister stuff and not, if I don't even use it, I'll just gift it maybe to somebody else just to support. And this is not, let me talk about this. I'm about to bring it up. I just started my business last year. This is not just women, but just period. Why do people think that you should discount your product when they pay full price for Michael Kors, full price for Jordan for their child, full price for their weave and everything else, but think that you are supposed to discount your product? No, my time, effort, energy, money, and all that has went into this product. I need you to pay full price. But if you can't, I understand if my prices are too much for you. That's okay. Go to Publix or Kroger. But my cakes are homemade. I am putting the work, my hands.
And you're not putting no preservatives in it either. Come on.
Exactly.
Come on, and stop doing anointing hands in that cake, honey.
Yeah, let's stop saying, if the person is a black business owner, hook me up. Hook you up.
What is that? What is that? Listen, you know what? We have got to stop that. Oh my gosh. Because listen, you know what that's like to me?
What?
Don't y'all ever come to my garage sales and try to bargain me on a garage sale. I'm like, I already done went down. I could have just easily sent it somewhere else. That is super not cool. And you are right. We pay for what we want to pay for.
Amen.
Right. Why do we always have to get the discount? If anything, I should be trying to pay you more, sister.
Right.
Amen.
Now, if someone offers it to you, then be my guest.
That's different.
Because I do a discount if you buy a dozen of my mini buns, right? And I had someone tell me, I appreciate that, but you don't have to give me a discount. And I said, well, amen for full price. Thank you.
I know that's right.
That's me.
Look, I'm going to say I'm not going to block your blessings.
I'm not going to block your blessings. Thank you.
That's exactly how I am, Shanavia. I feel like even when I had a service with Wendy, no, I am paying you for this service. I'm gonna find a way to pay you for this service. You won't give me your cash out, but I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna pay you for this service. The same thing. I had the service with Minister Kaylee for my daughter. Look, how much are your prices? Not how much do you don't know how much do you charge? Because I get that as a business, as a travel business owner, I get people that come to me and say, "Can you find me a cheap flight?" No, I cannot. But here go my website. You can go look. However, I'm not a discount. I don't provide a discount service. I provide a service. and I put my all into that service. But and that right there, like, oh well, you can't hook me up. So guess what? I'm gonna go over to Expedia and pay the same price. I'm not gonna pay you. I'm gonna go to Expedia and pay the same price. I pull the same prices that Expedia pulled. Don't play with me. Mm-hmm. But that is what. But that's a hot button. I'm sorry if I hollered. I thought I was Mike. My mic was never down. It really wasn't me because I looked down and the mic was open and I'm hollering. So I apologize.
You know, it's serious though. We do need to support each other. In all aspects, don't go in expecting a discount. Don't do that. But if someone is trying to offer you something, by all means, accept your blessing. But don't go in like, oh yeah, okay. So you gonna
talk her down?
Well, that's no, because I made my prices the way I made them. That's what they're gonna be. They're all over my Facebook page. If it's too much for you, I'm okay with you going somewhere else.
And you know what? Also, too, the Bible says that a servant is worth his pay.
Come on now.
I'm gonna say that again. A servant is worth his pay. It didn't say going once, going twice. Oh, I'm gonna take that 10 cents over there, that 20 cents over there. Oh no, we're gonna go down 5 cents. Oh, come on, we got it sold for 5 cents. No, that is not what the word says. Okay.
Right.
Many servants are worth more than their pay. Many servants. Bible didn't say it, but many servants are worth more than their pay.
That's right.
Many are.
Yes, they are. And we have to just continue to keep that in the forefront of our mind and not give away our services either.
Right.
And I struggle. I'm gonna tell you what I struggle with all the time. I had someone say this to me. Why would I help you? I think I told you guys this backstage one time. We were having a conversation about relationships. Someone said to me, why would I help you grow your business? And I don't have mine yet.
Wow.
And I said, maybe your blessing will come when you support me with mine. I asked you to support me with my business. And that person never did support me, by the way. And I don't know actually what they're doing right now. I haven't checked on them. I see them on Facebook, but I haven't checked on their business. But that's one of those things that's super sad. I have people that, and many of you experience this. I was talking to Minister Kaylee about this. We have people that will, now you don't get paid for somebody to like your post. Okay, you don't. Come on, seriously. Some people won't like it because they think you get paid, probably. but they won't like your post. But those same people that are doing this behind liking your post like that, when you put it on a story, they up front and center. They don't realize you can see them when they tiptoeing on your story. Okay, but then they're just literally, they will not like your post to save their life. Mm-hmm. You hear what I'm saying? And I thank God. Now, I want people to hear this. You are bigger than those likes. You don't want that garbage. You don't want, some people, they keep their likes. You don't want, that's character. What people do when you're not looking at them. Listen, God sees their heart. A like is not going to get you in the kingdom. The St. Peter ain't going to be saying who liked your post and who liked your story. They don't care. They don't care about all that. Okay. God cares more about your character than he cares about social media, the car you drive, the friends you have, the clothes you wear, all of that. So I had to learn that myself. Like, when you first get on social media, it's like ice cream. It's like, whoa. I mean, I got on 8, 9, 10 years ago. And when I saw the likes, I was like, oh, this is super cool. Ain't none of that junk paying my bills.
Right.
But it did tell me about the people that I associated with, and I stopped associating with them. And so then I hired Minister Kaylee and a couple other individuals to manage my social media. And what they started doing is really kind of watching those so-called friends that you all have on social media. Mm-hmm. They start watching who likes what, who follows what, who does this. And then they just start unfriending them. Boom, boom, boom. Because if you got a business and it's your livelihood, you expect them to support your business at some point, whether they buy from you or they share it. Mm-hmm. That's all you want. You don't want them. They ain't got to put their heart in they this and all the. Ain't nobody got time for all that. Okay, because that shows you who your acquaintances truly are. Okay, they support you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. I was on the bandwagon right there because that like thing you get me all twisted up, and I realized, what are you doing? Who gives a right here about Like,
I wanted to go back to what you were
not
saying,
liking them, please.
Denise, about the person said that they didn't want to support your business because they didn't have their own. Well, what they fail to realize is if you are already out there doing what they are doing, that is the perfect opportunity to learn what to do for your own business. So again, that's a character flaw. It's like, I'm not going to help you because I don't have mine. That's crazy. Like I'm quick to insert myself and ask somebody, well, hey, can I help? Or if I just see something needs to be done and just do it. Because you just never know. Life is a teachable moment. Like every day is a teachable moment. And if you keep that mindset, you'll be amazed at the places God put you.
That is so true. That is so true. There's a slight delay there for some reason. Wendy Wynn, I know we can't see you. Did you have something to say? Because normally I see her finger come up when she got to say something.
No fingers have come up. I know I'm in the dark. Keeping my eyes on the road, but no, I'm just lost in the conversation. I really am lost in the conversation. It's very relaxing while I'm driving.
Don't get too relaxed now, girl.
Look, I want to highlight this comment that Dawn put up. She said, "We are all leaders of ourselves. God makes room for us and our talents. No need to stifle the growth of others." Amen.
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 It's a double snap.
Amen.
Okay, I'm gonna go all the way around.
Amen.
I know, right?
That's good stuff right there.
Listen,
that's right.
I picked it up there and didn't even read it. What am I doing?
That's right.
That is so true. Thank you for being your sister's keeper, Shanavia. I appreciate you hollering that out for me because I didn't even see it. I put it up there and I'm like, get so excited in this conversation. I tell you, you are right, Sister Dawn. Thank you so much. You're right. There's no need to stifle the growth of others. And guess what? Where the believers at?
Right.
Those believers and Christians, true Christians that are growing every day, those are the ones who think like that.
Exactly.
We need more of you.
Right.
Because then you help carry up you. And the Bible even says that. Thank you, Holy Spirit. The more people you help get where they're supposed to go, that's how God is going to bless you and get you where you're supposed to go.
Right. Oh, let me tell y'all a quick story. I gotta share this with y'all because it just always sticks in my mind. So one of my girlfriends wanted to put on a women's tea, right? And so she was like, "Look, I don't have money, but I would love if you came and did poetry." I was like, "Girl, pay me for what? Like, this is your tea. I'm gonna, promote it. Let's do it." So we did it, right? Long story short, there was a lady that I had been trying to get in contact with about this TV show. How about the lady end up being there? And guess what? I auditioned and got the part.
Come on, won't he do it? Won't he do it?
God. You can't be selfish and expect great things to happen for you.
That's right.
It just don't work like that.
That's right.
That's your character.
That's right.
When you got your hand like this, you can receive and you can give. But if it's like this, ain't nothing gonna happen. Nothing but fighting. You fighting your blessings from coming through.
That's right.
Say that, honey.
That's right.
Say that. Say that. That was your test. And that's what, listen, y'all going in my Sunday school lesson tomorrow. That's what that suffering and those tribulations are for. They are tests. Yep. And you passed the test. He said, my daughter, she passed the test. So let me go and put this TV person right here. Let her just go and get this part.
Right.
You passed the test. Your purpose should be able to be done for free. That's a gift that God has given you as it relates to poetry. I've heard your poems. I want them in my book that's done. I mean, she's an amazing poet. She is. Is there a way to say poetress for women? I don't know. But anyway, maybe I just made it up. But, she's an amazing poet. And so she said, listen, I'll do it for free. Now, did she have to do it for free? No. But she chose to. That was part of the test.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because I love to help. Anything I can do to boost your business, boost whatever, I want to help. But Denise always tell me, but you do need to get paid for your talent. You do. Don't give it away. Don't give it away all the time. Don't do that. But it's like I said,
you move the way God tells you to move, and that's how you are. You move how He tells you to move.
Yeah.
Look, and as our pastor say, keep the main thing, which reminds me, that's what our pastor Miller says, keep the main thing. Okay, he don't say thing. Yeah, I done made it all fabulous, but he says keep the main thing.
Amen.
Speaking of that, I'm going to take a quick break and I'm going to show some commercials. We're about to close out in a few minutes.
Okay.
I got to preach in the morning, okay, and teach Sunday school, and I got to get some sleep. So hold up a minute. Let me make sure, Minister Kaylie's not here. So just work with me. I know, right? Okay.
You got this. You got this.
There you go.
I don't know if I got it. What's that?
No, that's a background. But you.
Can y'all hear me? I don't know what I'm doing here.
That's
There
okay.
it is right there. There it is.
There you are.
It's something.
I was about to say, I'll do it for you.
Minister Kaylee, we need you back.
Oh, God. Ooh, that's so funny. Okay, that is super funny. Okay, so now I got to take the comment off the bottom. I'm going to talk about this in a second, but I got to make sure I'm doing it right first. Wow, there it is. Okay, so we just want to invite everybody to our Undo Ordinary Women's Conference. It is April 24th, which happens to be my birthday. Yay! I'll be a fabulous 52. But listen, it's not about me. So anyway, it's all about you ladies. So we want you to come to our Undo Ordinary Women's Conference, April 24th. It's from 10 to 1 o'clock. And it is only $10, a $10 donation, okay? Yours truly will be one of the moderators, one of the hosts, as well as my sister Dawn Stargell Moore. And then we have a host of special guests that will be speaking to you and with each and every one of you throughout that morning, going into early afternoon. And when I tell you, ladies, if you are ready to get a shift, to really get an uncovering of what your purpose is, how to move in your purpose, how to lean into your purpose, I'm telling you, you got to come to this Undo Ordinary Women's Conference. $10. Okay, cut out the Starbucks, cut out a venti or two for the week. But I tell you, you got to be there. And also, I'm going to give you a call to action. We've been talking about it tonight. Gift a ticket to somebody. Mm-hmm. If you can't come, gift a ticket to another sister who you know right now she's in that place and she might need that environment to pull her out. I'm telling you, tell her to come on. We would love to have her there. April 24th, 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern, $10. That's it. That's $10. $10. All right. I think I know how to fix it now. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Can I get a whoop, whoop, whoop? I figured it out. All right. Well, we're going to close this conversation out. When I tell you all that I have had a blast with y'all, I really, truly enjoy these conversation. And I really pray that somebody's life has changed, the way they move forward has changed. Maybe it'll provoke a little bit of thought, because it's all ministry, right? And you gave your time, and I know God is proud, that you gave your time to have some candid conversations. And we were able to talk our sisters driving. How much longer you got?
Probably another 2 hours, maybe 2-3 hours.
Wow.
I don't know, because I don't have the Waze or the thing on to tell me, so I'm just driving.
Oh, okay, but you're driving in the right direction.
God is with me either way.
Yay! We love you, Wendy Wynn.
Love y'all.
Yes, love you. Safe travels.
And make sure you send us a text or somebody to let us know when you get home.
Okay. It'll be late. You'll be asleep.
No, I won't.
But bless y'all. It was a great show.
Bless you too. Bless you too. Thank you, Shanavia. We love you, sister.
Yes.
Thank you guys for having me again.
Yes.
Always so
It's just
cool to have you.
Good, mature conversations, you know? Not all that bickering and craziness, you know, everybody respecting each other's opinion, learning things in the process.
Amen.
Hey, this is great. Positive stuff. Positive stuff.
Yes. And TP in the house. Always love that little sister. She
Well,
don't
thank you.
And TP, this is for you.
You know what? Whatever. I just want to add to what Shanavia was saying. You know what? I'm closer to probably 50 than I am to 40. But there is something clicks in your head, and you just like, you know what? I don't even want to have this conversation. You know, when your girlfriend's calling you up, you know, you're like, I don't even want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. Before you just kind of roll with it, and you were just like, oh, even if you do, look, girl, I don't want to talk about that. Can we change subject?
Yes. My whole life shifted. Once I turned 40, it's like a switch just went off and everything changed. But I thank God for the change, you know?
Thank God for the change. Come on, don't you start with that press. Don't you start with
you know I go in.
We'll be on here for another hour.
It's comfortable. However, it is necessary for growth. Okay? Because life gonna change whether you change or not. The day's gonna change, the season's gonna change, the time gonna change.
You are my sister.
Either way it goes. You better get used to change. And I'm talking to myself because I am. My sister doesn't know. I told her, I was like, I don't like a whole lot of changes, but just pray for me. But you know, I've learned that change is a beautiful thing. Just learn to flow with it. Just flow with it. Just flow with it.
Don't do it, TP.
That's right. Change gonna come.
Yes.
I'm gonna keep passing. It's gonna keep on going. What you doing?
And look, I'm about to sound real old, but I love old music. You got the float on.
No. Come on now. Come on. That's timeless.
That's that good music. That's that good music.
Timeless.
Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it. Oh, anybody want to join us backstage? Please send us a message. You can IM me. Do not send me a message on this chat. Send me a message individually. You gotta do your background check. I'm just kidding. Anyway, we will love to have you backstage. The things that come out of my mouth sometimes after 9 o'clock. Is it 9 o'clock yet?
It's 8:55. You're 5 minutes ahead of time.
It's time to go.
No, she's still on daylight savings time. It's 10 o'clock. It's almost 10 o'clock, darling.
There's still an adjustment that has to be made.
I can't stand y'all. I can't stand you, TP. Oh God. Wendy, what are we gonna do with them?
Love us.
Just love them.
Love us.
Oh boy, I'm about to lose my camera.
As we are. Love us as we are.
Yes.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hearts.
I can never do that right.
You got it.
So it works. Don't you do it, Wendy? You drive and we see yours in your heart.
Black
Okay.
heart.
My heart is beating.
I like it.
We already came up with Heart Day. Now you're gonna give us the Black Heart Beating Day. Okay, Black Heart Wendy.
Oh, that's a different
beating heart for TP.
Y'all are so crazy. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Okay, good. See you later. Not goodbye. See you later.
See you later.
Bye, y'all.
Hold up. Wait a minute.